meditation, among all the things, the general cause of diseases, many diseases, are illnesses. And then how meditation is helping reduce or remove the illnesses we understood on Monday. Today we'll understand how it's filling up our body with lots of energy. Meditation is also helping remove a lot of addictions and cravings. We have a whole bunch of neuropeptides that get produced in the brain in various reasons. Many of them are considered the feel-good factors, feel-good chemicals. There is dopamine, there is serotonin, there are several endorphins, and of course there is this super chemical called melatonin, which is producing in the pineal gland. But there's dopamine, endorphins, and serotonin are produced in this neocortex. These feel-good chemicals are making us feel good. Exactly the word, making us feel good. When we are stressful, then, at a broad level, when you're stressful, we understood on Monday that there is this whole bunch of chemical cocktail, the chemicals going into the body, and as a result, we move the body into an emergency mode. So all the supply of the blood, most of it has to go into the legs and hands, and so less into other areas, because body is deciding that I'm in an emergency mode, protective mode. And so as a result, there's less and less of it going into the brain too. And as a result, there's less and less of it is going to the brain, then there's less and less of whatever that needs to get produced in the brain is becoming less and less. And some of these are these feel-good chemicals. So they also become scarce. So when particularly the dopamine levels come down, then people who already they're already stressed, so it is less. So I don't have control of my life. One reason, I have to work no matter what, because I'm working for the society all the time. This is how I need to behave because I am that, right? I'm looked at by the society as in my role. I have to do it. I have no option. So I get moved on, and then I keep working. I want to take a vacation. Can't take it. Can't take a leave. I can't take it. Anytime I have to be available in a role that I'm playing in, and as a result, we take it that way. We do not wish and put a pause to it and then say, this is important for me. The self-expression is not there because constantly only looking for looking to see in the eyes of the society. So that's how we continue to work, eyes of the environment. And so when there's lack of control, but deep inside you feel the lack of control of life. You don't have any control in your life. So when you do one of the reasons, and to feel lack of control, then we got to get something. And so when we take an addictive substance like an alcohol or drug, so it gives us a little bit of high. What is it doing? It's also produced. It takes us, temporarily makes us feel high. Now we are stressful. So definitely the dopamines, because when you're stressed, then naturally those feel-good factors are not there. Because when you're stressed, the less blood, and then so lesser feel-good factors. And as a result, anyway, you're not feeling good. So you got to escape from it. So we take a addictive substance, and then so it produces some of it. So feel good. And then stress is not gone. As soon as it goes out, then there is it becomes pretty dry in there that you don't have that chemical anymore. So it is a cycle where you can keep pushing for something more again. Because you're not feeling good, you need something more to add it. So we go back and then take more other addictive substance like alcohol. And then it is a cycle now. Every time the effect of the alcohol is gone, then you need more, and it's depleting more and more because you're living off of a lot of it, then depleting more and more, so you're going to go back and ask for more. But just very naturally, with regular meditation, this tremendous amount of dopamine is produced because there's more and more. Of course, first we brought the body back to the normal, so blood circulation normal, and then meditation, so as you are now increasing only the positivity, So there is normal blood circulation happening. So this normal good amount of dopamine is getting produced. So the treatment for addiction, then, which they've also done experimentations, you can explore a lot of the scientific concepts from eocinstitute.org, Exploration of Consciousness Institute, Exploration of Consciousness Institute, eocinstitute.org. Anybody wanting to understand various causes of the conditions in the body, and then how meditation, what chemicals coming into play, what neuropeptides coming into play, and then how this whole thing is coming together can be is nicely explained. Whoever that is written is very, very grateful to them. They are listed by the disease, listed by the cause, all of that. So because of these feel-good factors, when we meditate, the need for addictive substances becomes less and less, because at the end of the day, all we need to feel is that no matter what the day's issues have been, the issues may be there, the people may still exist that way, what they have been, constantly accusing, constantly irritating, constantly, I guess, authoritatively putting us, trying to put us down, right? Or we ourselves, and all of whatever I said, all three, we ourselves do to ourselves. Constantly we accuse ourselves and be harsh on ourselves. That self-pity goes on. And as a result, any of those, putting the body into stressful mode, and so less and less of these chemicals that is drained up, all these neuropeptides, and as they drain up, so then we don't feel good. Then we feel, that's how some of these other resulting stuff comes, the frustrations and anxieties. They're all cycle, especially anxiety. The moment you don't have enough weight, you can't feel good, then you start now becoming anxious. So just with regular meditation, more blood circulation, more natural body working, so adequate supply of the feel-good chemicals, dopamine and serotonin are working, and as a result, we're able to come out. In the research studies they've done in 8 weeks with the jailmates, where the one set of people, they're given the medication, which is predominantly basically through steroids of some sort, they're actually producing that chemical, and meditation, medication and meditation. And they found that 50% more were able to heal, were able to get over this addiction with meditation. And what? With zero side effect. Zero side effect of taking drugs. Similarly, it is the same concept for pain. The pain that is there, we covered this in the newsletter, right? A lot of it is mind over matter pain. Before even it pains, we start thinking about it and say, oh, okay, it's going to pain for me. And if I turn to this side or that side, yes, I know last time I bent to the left, and then so it pained it deep. So anytime even just going a little bit to the right side, bending, automatically the thought is triggered because the memory was so deeply there. The thought is triggered, and then so it is going in and then producing that chemical for us to feel the pain. See, at the end of the day, it's all about feeling, isn't it? How is the numbness when we take injections, then they are suppressing that thing, right? So we feel it. So there is something called endorphins that are coming together and then working, and then they're supposed to be an order of magnitude powerful. The endorphins, which are like another feel-good chemicals, are order of magnitude powerful to make us feel less pain. So it increases the tolerance for pain, because we feel, one, the endorphins get produced, and so which are much more powerful than any medication that you may take, and as a result, the pain tolerance becomes quite high physically. Number two, because then in meditation we are reducing our unwanted thought, that anxious, worrisome thought, and as a result, first of all, because we all know, right, when before a pain comes, then we start thinking so much about it, so automatically we are causing the pain there. So we first eliminate all of that anxiety or thought related pain before the actual pain happens. So that is one core reason why the thoughts come down, pain reduces. Endorphins are produced significantly, pain reduces. And also, this concept of inflammation causes pain in sometimes, and then that inflammation also is coming down significantly because this, what they say, this cortisol that is there significantly in our bloodstream when we are stressful causes more inflammation. And so the cortisol is anyway coming down because there's not there stresses. So less and less of this cortisol in the bloodstream, and so less and less inflammation. When body detects that there is a challenge in any specific area, then it starts working more in that area. At a high level, that's what we talk about as inflammation. That immunity system there has to pump more, do more work in that area because it's sort of trying to fence off that area and then work more the moment it detects there is some bacteria on it or any kind of intrusions in a given area, then it needs to work more in that area. So what we normally say there's inflammation. So then it needs to work more, it tries to fence it off, and then there is swelling, redness, because there's more, it's trying to work more, so there's more circulation of blood, so some of these veins sort of expand a little bit. Dilation, it's called dilation a little bit. And so there is a swelling, redness, and there is naturally there is some pain that is now accumulated. So this inflammation is directly proportional to also the stress chemical cortisol, which is again we're pulling it off. So inflammation lesser, so in some sometimes where the pain caused by the inflammation also becomes lesser. So these are some of the reasons of why meditators, while they may not solve the original condition is causing us pain, but they increase tolerance to the pain. Everything is happening around these feel-good chemicals, which are naturally being produced in the body sufficiently and abundantly to handle various conditions, just by letting it function naturally. And then, of course, when we have more positive, miraculous thinking and feeling, most certainly, then it is pumping more and more these feel-good chemicals into it that are required. It is also upregulating several genes. I was trying to read up some study around how the information itself can come down, and apparently inflammation also comes down due to certain upregulation or downregulation of some genes, which is generally is what is treated by the medical field with a specific medication. So inflammation also gets downregulated with specific genes getting downregulated, and that's happening through regular meditation, not a lot of meditation. So, dear friends, meditation is not only healing disease, but of course is helping us live with them by reducing the pain, and then helping us. There is physical diseases and then mental diseases, which of course are those addictions or cravings, naturally are getting reduced. We should have many cases of people who reduce their addictions. Definitely, one of the greatest way to reduce addictions of drugs and alcohol. At the end of the day, nothing is bad. It's all everything has to be in moderation, right? So let's go into this breath mindfulness meditation again, which is this simple technique is causing us to be completely get a full emotional balance, no matter what the situations in life are, and then not worry about developing these anxieties and worries, which is fundamentally the cause of all stress. Relax yourself. We'll go into our breath mindfulness meditation. Those of you new, we are going in, we are practicing anapanasati, our breath mindfulness meditation. We are mindful of our natural normal breath for the whole duration. Our goal is to empty the mind. When we observe the breath, we become empty of all thoughts in the mind. Take any point on the nose with your eyes closed, fingers into fingers. Rest your hands comfortably in your lap. Cross your feet at ankle. Eyes closed, fingers into fingers. Rest your hands comfortably in your lap. Cross your feet at ankle. And then take any point on the nose, tip, middle, root, anywhere, and observe breath is going in, coming out. As you observe the breath is going in and coming out, the mind becomes slowly empty of all thought. In the before, sometimes, I mean, a lot of times we actually get distracted. We go back into the thought of what's going to happen today, whatever that thought is or what happened yesterday. We go into the thought, and when you recognize that you're thinking, bring your attention back to the breath again. When you recognize you're thinking, bring your attention back to the breath. Again, observe. And then again, you get distracted at some point later, and then you bring it back to the breath. That's it. The whole practice is around observing the breath. Mind takes it away, and we are trying to tame the mind, bring it back to attention on the breath. And by doing so, thoughts come down. It's breath mindfulness meditation. As thoughts come down, our mind becomes empty. As the mind is empty, and then when thoughts are withdrawn, that means we withdrawn our attention off of everything that we know of, our life, our body, our environment. And when we withdraw our attention of everything, then what we experience is emptiness. We experience total emptiness where nobody exists in that emptiness. And that's the end goal of meditation, is to become one with that emptiness. And that emptiness is called consciousness quantum energy field. We are 10 days into meditation, this program. Definitely all the newcomers with time to congratulate ourselves. It's a good feeling, isn't it? To wake up every day, sincerely participate. We had some great sharing yesterday in terms of how meditation really helped in healing significantly. And Ravindra was an example of energy. You can do any amount of work when you are energetic. So meditation is keeping a body highly energetic. I'm sure some of you must be already feeling that way. How many of you feel, because of this last 10 days of meditations, or otherwise those have been, that you feel from the time you wake up and then be out on the road till or whatever to the work, till all the way into the night, we still find energy and then energetic. So it's happening due to a few factors. First and foremost is the sleep reduction. Sleep optimization, not reduction. Sleep optimization. Better sleep, high quality of sleep, where we get to rest the body. Second, of course, is resting the body during the wakeful state, which is basically lessening the thought. Third is allowing the body to, our food intakes become optimal, so we allow the body to have a better digestion, better biological reaction. So as a result, it has a better way of producing energy. So we understood sleep is getting better. Everything ultimately comes back to linking. The moment the diseases are gone, illness are gone, so obviously body is going to be good. So naturally it's going to start getting filled up with energy. At a broad level, that's it. That's the understanding, right? If we go deeper, because the sleep is getting better now, because why is the sleep getting better in meditation? That cortisol chemical is causing us to be very alert and awake all the time, because it is making us think that there's imminent danger, right? So that is lessened. And our thoughts in meditation, actually bringing our thought level to less and lesser. In the first week, we showed the chart: high beta, alpha, theta, delta. So it is becoming lesser. We are immediately moving away from this high beta thought zones into lower zones. That is exactly the state that we are into, the sleep state too. When we are going to sleep, so we are also going into the same levels of thought, low waves. Meditation is producing this chemical called is melatonin in pineal gland. This melatonin chemical has got a lot of benefits. It is also the chemical which transmutes itself into various other forms for us to have transcendental experiences. But then this chemical is making us go into sleep, deeper sleep states, It happens when you slow down in the night time when you're about to sleep. When you instruct a body that, okay, I'm done for the day and then I'm about to sleep, body is slowing down and the melatonin is getting produced. But in meditation, in experimentation, they found that the melatonin level can be 100 to 300% more for regular meditators. And as a result, we might have more transcendental experience. That means the experience of feeling this oneness, wholeness, feeling larger than life, larger than body, all that in an extreme amount of calmness, peace inside. All of these experiences are there because this chemical is quite a bit is produced, and then that has that effect, or it also can take us to nice sleep. So because of all these three reasons, lowering the brain waves and then melatonin productions and cortisol reduction. So sleep is better, and the sleep is better, then of course we are in the sleep state, we are resting better. So energy conserved. During wakeful time of these regular meditators, normal person before meditation, we have this 50 to 70,000 thoughts. But regular meditators during wakeful time, after a long time, they would have reduced those thoughts by an order of magnitude. Reduce. It happens gradually. I mean, it doesn't happen overnight. I mean, in meditation, of course, we would have gone off to the empty state, but they're going to come back up, right? They're going to come back up. But over a period of time, when we are regularly meditating, they come back up to little lesser level. And then over a period of time, let's say a year, 2 years later, then you would have been generally been with a less number of thought by default. That's why we are also generally are peaceful, calm, quiet, and then also receiving, and then we have the ability to receive more because porous mind, you can receive stuff, empty cup, we can receive, right? So we receive signals, solutions, and all that because we are more aware. So because that lesson thought is there, now every thought is energy. Electromagnetic energy is dissipated. Every thought is energy, every feeling is energy. And since we are not indulging in unnecessary thought and feeling, we don't even know that every thought and every word and then feeling is energy and then we dissipate. But we speak more, we talk more, we think more. We lose a lot of energy. We need to become so impeccable with our words to preserve that energy. And then we do become that. We stop needing for adding unnecessary value in a team, even though we don't add value, just open and talk. We stop unnecessarily bringing things that are of no use any whatsoever to the people. We might just record some event somewhere and then talk about here of no use at all, either for yourself or to the person in front. We just waste a lot of energy. But with meditation, we become so mindful. We are mindfully aware of how we speak, what we think, and we start working on it. The speech has to become so impeccable because speech not only loses energy but also deviates us from our purpose, because whatever you speak, you're committed, because the nature of the soul is that when you commit, nature of this body is that our intelligence is that when you commit to somebody something, then you got to, you're bound by it. It does not like to deviate. So we got to be so impeccable in what we say, because then we sort of get pushed into the direction. At least thought level, it's inside you and you can correct it. But the moment a word is released, it's like a bullet, it's gone. So now withdrawing becomes tougher from the environment. Because of the way we work with other people, work with existence. So words have to be very, very impeccable. Talking about energy, since the thoughts are less, words are less, naturally actions will be less. Actions cannot be controlled because once you trigger off a thought, it's like quantum physics coming in, so it is manifesting, right? So it's energy, so it's got to manifest sometime. So with less than number of thoughts, thousands of thoughts becoming into fewer and fewer and fewer, we conserve a lot of energy automatically. And the third thing, dear friends, is the diet, what we take into the body. And If you still remember, on Monday we said when we are in the emergency mode, our digestive system is one of the first things that get impacted because its body is saying it's not necessary right now. In emergency, who could care less if we even have lots of food in the tummy and don't have to heal, digest it right now, right? It shuts off that system, reduces the functioning of it by pulling out resources from it, circulation of the blood and all of that. So when it is pulled down, so digestion gets impacted. But now when the meditator stress is removed, so digestive system functions properly. So important, isn't it? Whatever food we take, it needs to be digested well, easy, right? So automatically the digestive system works so great, so it's easy, so the right metabolism is happening and the right level of energy is produced. And then of course meditation is become self-aware, so our food cravings become less and less. Has anybody seen in the 10 days, you could raise your hand or you use the reactions and then say or put yes. Has anybody seen in the last 10 days, newcomers, if any of the food cravings or you generally feel like eating less? It's got to happen if it's not happened. We feel like eating less because we don't need more. It's just like that breath. In meditation, when we observe the breath, notice the breath is becoming shorter and lighter because we are shutting down all the faculties of the body, right? We are basically making the body and mind still. And so as we're making it still, it requires very little amount of energy to run this default mode functions. So the breath is becoming so lighter and lighter. Same way, body requirements also become very, very less. Generally, body does not require you're being energy, and then there is so much that is being filled with. So our cravings become less. We become very alert to eat. Where you're eating 4 chapatis, now you'll eat 2. Where you're eating 3 cups of rice, you'll eat probably 1.5. Perfectly okay. I have noticed it within the first year, quite a bit of reduction in my food intake. Generally, of course, mindful, but that is increased quite a bit with meditation. Slowly, slowly, slowly now it's come down further. But we are very happy, very healthy, energetic, and active, right? We're very active. So the diet, one, the cravings become less. Remember the addiction story. Cravings, one is requirement to eat, feel like eating more, and then also there are some addictions to the chocolate, addictions to this paneer, addictions to cheese, whatever that is there, the cravings basically, we don't call them addictions, but we say cravings. Or the coffee. We say I can't live without coffee. And true meditators will not have the need for having, you can have one day coffee, another you don't have coffee, it's okay. You can switch to green tea, another day you can try something else. If it's not there, okay, I'm happy. And if you're still holding on to the coffee, friends, the regular meditation, think about it. You perhaps are just holding on because you don't want to change the belief. Not necessary. It will go away. So with reduced cravings, reduced intake, enhanced digestive system and metabolism, we have better energy. Now here plays an important element of the type of food we take. Our human body is not designed to take meat. The body struggles to digest the meat, the non-vegetarian food, it struggles to digest. Let me see if we can put a slide. Some of you are aware of it. Around the differences between a herbivore and a carnivore. Right? An herbivore and a carnivore. Just this understanding alone. Not worry with the picture. I also don't like the picture, but it is there. Our body part, an herbivore, human, carnivore is this meat-eating animals, right? If you look at bottom 3 colon, it is only 3 to 6 times body length for them. Colon is this intestines, right? Small and large intestines. 3 to 6 times body length for these carnivores, those animals, whereas for us it's 10 to 12 times. That means what? That means when we ingest food, then it has to go through this intestine for such a long time because it's much longer, right? One is a shorter, so it just goes in, comes out for them. For us, it goes stays inside for a long time. What happens inside intestine? All that is getting it stays longer time, and it is that means it takes long time to come out. It struggles to come out because there is a good reason. Not everything can be digested. A lot of it has to be secreted, and it has to go through this whole thing. And there are also other things, right? We are swallowing. There's an extensive chewing happening by the. We are doing extensive chewing. They simply swallow stuff. Our teeth also, you know that. So teeth broad and flat for grinding for us, whereas sharp and pointed for tearing for carnivores. Just the basic anatomy itself sort of tells us that we are not. I mean, we don't have claws, isn't it? So just this itself tells, dear friends, that our body is not designed to eat this meat, and we just are doing so much of it. There's any number of reasons of being a vegetarian versus non-vegetarian. Any number of reasons. The environment, if you take 2.5 acres of land and you produce, what's happening in the world, you take, in order to graze the cattle, right, you need feed, cattle feed. So you produce grains. And the stat is that, okay, in India, it could be lesser in consumption, but in the Western world, 2.5 acres of land can feed people eating chicken, 2 people. They eat beef, 1 person. 2.5 acres of land where you produce grains, which are going into this cattle, and ultimately it's can allow 1 person to feed meat eaters. Whereas vegetarians, it is an order of magnitude larger, 20 people plus. If it's cabbage, 23 people. If it's potato, there's some stats here. I mean, these are startling facts. When you see it, then you say, where am I contributing to in terms of the ecology? Look at this stat. Sustainability. Cabbage, 23 people. Potatoes, 20 people. So it's all, if you grow this, then you can feed so many people. Whereas if you just use it for growing grains for feeding cattle or the animals, then we are only feeding this so less. So much of energy, so much of resources consumed. Now that water stat is even more startling. There's got to be a water stat here. Gallons of water required to produce a pound of vegetables versus a pound of meat. On the right side table, you look at it. Tomatoes and potatoes, to produce a pound of them, require only 23, 24 gallons of water. Whereas for the same, to produce the meat, because they require a lot of grains to be eaten by the cattle, and so as a result, to have the grains, then so much. So this is the effect of water usage. So the effect in a vegan diet requires 300 only gallons of water. Vegetarian diet is very close to that. Whereas meat eating diet requires more than 4,000 gallons of water. A pound of meat that's probably consumed, a pound is what, less than half a kilo, is consumed by a family in a day, is equivalent to not showering for 6 months. So ecology is significantly impacted. Animals suffer so much. And the food contamination, they found that the pesticide is in meat is 20 times more compared to vegetables, because the animals have to eat everything, right? There's so much consumed, all of it comes through. And then animals go through deep pain and suffering, and a lot of that goes in. I mean, today Ramani sir is not there. Ramani sir has a great, as a medical doctor, a great understanding to tell about this. billions of dollars, dear friends, billions of dollars are used in healthcare. High blood pressure, one of the number one reasons is with this, and then so much of dollars used in healthcare, and then billions of dollars in advertising. Apparently, one of these fast food chains in the world, when they produce a new burger, the advertisement costs are close to $1 billion, just in advertisement costs, to promote it. Whereas there is an institute which is doing research on cancer reduction, $1 billion for promoting a meat burger, whereas $1 million is the budget for the cancer research reduction. 1 million. Look at where the money is spent. Vegetarians have 60% less chance of many diseases that are coming through non-vegetarianism. There is a beautiful presentation that we're going to share about this. But the point is that vegetarianism, apart from compassionate reasons, that is always there anyway, right? I mean, our nation many people, Aristotle, Leo Tolstoy, Mahatma Gandhi, from East and West, everybody many people have said that Abraham Lincoln, vegetarian, Einstein, vegetarian. And many have talked about vegetarianism. Mahatma Gandhi, the progress of a nation is judged by the way the people treat the animals. Mahatma Gandhi. If you have respect for this greatest soul, then the progress of a nation is judged by the way the nation treats the animals. All of them, not just only some. You can't have my dog as a pet and then you can't have something else on the dining table. They're two, they cannot be different. They're all the same. So dear friends, many reasons vegetarian diet is the best. As we meditate, as we understand, when I talk about that heart elevation, I become one with everybody. It's not only human beings, it's one with everything and everybody. I personally, I used to eat quite a bit of meat every day until 2002. 5 times a week. My family is like that. Well, the community was like that now even today, many of them, when they recognize that we don't eat meat and then we don't generally go to the places or parties or in any functions that where meat is served, and then they sort of look at it and said, okay, so you guys, there is something that we are not doing right. Oh, they don't eat meat. It's okay, fine. The community, I'm saying. But we naturally became vegetarians because the body is telling that that's not right. And of course, our heart is telling us no way it's right. Dear friends, I personally think for me, my health, where I didn't have to visit a medical doctor, I didn't have to take any medication, tests are okay. And of course, medical science is absolutely is there with so many acute diseases have to be healed and emergencies have to be attended to. But day to day, we can reduce the effect on the system. For example, just the COVID. There's no way medical system can gear up for it because it can come to everybody. But if only we work on our own immunity, if only understand this whole concept of how things are happening, align to our purpose, there's no way anything can come because the nature of the consciousness is that we are here to experience our life. So we got to live a purpose. As long as we live to the purpose, nothing can come. Nothing. Anybody who is feeling that they are fulfilling a great life do not have to worry about any of these things that happen, any of the pandemics. You will realize that confidence in you. You will have the immunity to develop and recover from it, anything, right? Ultimately, nothing is curable. So nothing is incurable. So dear friends, vegetarian diet, I feel for me, is one of the core reasons. Meditation and vegetarian diet, both are core reasons of why I am able to stay very healthy, active, energetic, and then not having to worry about any medication and anxieties when I'm traveling, or not taking any medication for the last 20 years or so. So with that, dear friends, always good to understand, and this meditation is keeping us energetic, full of energy in the body, So our meetings, we don't longer have to drag into the meetings and less productive. At 4 o'clock in the night, evening, or 8 o'clock in the night for IT people, that you still have to do a meeting, even though you start your day at 9, you can still be productive. It's a different thing whether you want to do or not, but you can be highly productive. You can still be energetic, engaged. More so for leaders. Arvind is giving a smile. More so for leaders, when you have to continue to lead by example, right? You can't have low energy and then walk into the meeting and come out, right? That was the point in having the meeting. No productive meetings at all. So with that, Dr. Arul.
Sir?
Your comments on the session, sir.
Yeah. So yesterday also I shared with you.
About energy and diet.
Yeah, of course. The morning itself, I want to, when you ask the question, whether anybody feels some changes in the diet, I feel that change. Nowadays, as you said, without coffee, I was not out of the work to read the newspaper or any book. First, coffee should be there. After a glass of water or so, I have to drink coffee. Then only my mood comes into play. But after this last 2-3 months, I take coffee only after 8:30, 9 o'clock only. That is a big change for me. 8:39, my friends are wondering, what happened to you? You are a guy, even when I go to overseas for conferences, I see to that there is coffee in my room, the coffee powder or the kettle. Otherwise, I cannot even sleep properly, thinking that, morning, what to do for coffee. But now that the intention is completely gone. And I take coffee around 8:45, 9 o'clock. Sometimes I skip also. I don't mind. I just go with the turmeric water and ginger and push off. That's all. No. Then, regarding the cravings, I am a high sweet craver. Very high. Sweets means so fond of sweets. But now, in a month, maybe I take once or twice only. That is also gone, sir. These two things I have seen.
Wonderful, Dr. Arul. We both have the same cravings. The thing is, you're getting over the cravings, I still hold on to my cravings. Just kidding. Just kidding, but yes, coffee is beautiful. If it's not there, we don't feel bad, but if it's there, we enjoy it. Yes, that's what I mean.
Yes, all my colleagues, friends, family members, everyone was shocked. How come you left coffee now? I didn't leave, but I postponed it, 8:30, 9 o'clock. Priority has gone to vegetable juices, turmeric water, ginger water, mindful eating, like that, what he said is mindful. Is this good for me? Then I choose and eat some of it. That's really wonderful.
All right, friends.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Wonderful. What else? We have heard great sharing. See what changes you are able to bring about, Chandran. Even in eminent doctors who have been advising the whole society, they themselves are changing, reforming. That the power of meditation and the power of your teaching. We can't add to what has been shared by others now. Great day. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That's wonderful. So, dear friends, thank you so very much. Definitely have a think about the diet choices that we make. We don't lose anything by experimenting, right? Everything is about experimentation. Everything is experimentation. The fastest animal, the strongest animal, the heaviest animal, horse, leave the cheetah out, but what we normally use, horse, elephant, chimpanzee. Fastest, heaviest, and strongest, all are what? Vegetarians. Then why is that we need to have a lot of strength? And so I have to feed my child with meat. Please think about this. It is unfounded. There's so much of research that vegetable items have is equal and as much and more proteins in many of them, including soya and then several vegetables. We know them. It's all there. The research is there. You just have to look at it. So please
it is the ignorance of the parents. It is the superstition and ignorance of the parents, thinking meat makes them stronger, fish makes them more intelligent. These are all even educated people, highly educated people, well-placed people, they believe that, fish eating only makes them brilliant. How to disabuse this ignorance, stupidity. And then the children don't want. They force them to eat. Then they get habituated. Then they find it difficult to give it up.
Yes, sir. They struggle. They struggle to take because for them it's natural to not eat, and because they sense it, because they are less cultured, so they sense it, and then they struggle. But then, of course, we have the authority. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
You're talking about vegetarianism. In fact, I've become vegetarian since the session started, day one, that is July 9th.
Wonderful, sir.
So probably 3 days or 4 days before I would have had, in fact, I was on mixed diet, but still I was taking infrequently non-vegetarian, not a regular eater. But after hearing from Patriji and yourself, I became a full vegetarian. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir. You're audible.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You're audible. Yes, audible.
Yeah.
So you become vegetarian. That's great, sir. 100%.
So I stopped even eating. So I don't, in fact, I feel more healthy. I feel more, I used to have gastroesophageal reflux. All those things have gone. In fact, I'm more comfortable with my tummy. And as I said earlier, I've been having I think I have not shared with the audience. I've been having a neck pain also due to this due to a minor accident which occurred about 2 years ago. And I was trying a small course of steroids, which they used to give for edema of the disc. And even after steroids and physiotherapy and ultrasound physiotherapy, I was not relieved of the pain. But after doing meditation, after 2 sessions of full sessions, I do not have any neck pain now. And in fact, I used to have electric shock-like sensation in the right hand, what we call it as sensory neuropathy, which doesn't disappear with any medication. In fact, unless you do a surgery, discectomy. In fact, 2 of my friends have undergone discectomy for right arm pain, or even sometimes they develop paralysis or weakness of the limb. Whereas I feel quite normal. In fact, I'm amazed. Stress and anxiety reducing diabetes, hypertension, controlling hypertension and high blood pressure and diabetes is okay. But this is miraculous. I never thought I would get rid of neck pain as well as the sensory symptoms which I had, especially on the right hand. I used to have electric shock-like sensation, which is, which is, of course, transient. But normally it doesn't go unless you relieve the, mechanically remove it with either surgery or, removal of the disc. You must have heard there is something like a shock absorber with each vertebra. So this is quite miraculous, and I would like to share this with all our friends. Like Chandra said in the beginning, endorphins, the threshold for pain increases. That's maybe one of the reasons, because there are so many chemicals, and Chandra has been telling more than a doctor, neurologist. So I'd like to share this with all the participants. You you canvas all the people who are into diseases which we don't imagine that they will disappear. They are disappearing, manifesting after meditation, full meditation. But you need to be consistent and regular. You need to be very consistent and regular, and you must do it with full faith and full concentration. Full concentration. Whether you get thoughts or not doesn't matter, but you should do it. You should focus. You should try to concentrate as much as possible, and you will never fail. So, as I told earlier, even my respiratory problem, which I used to get often, especially during this winter season, has disappeared. This is one of the psychosomatic disorders, and it is well known that psychosomatic disorders disappear, or rather getting controlled with meditation. Few other disorders. In fact, we have included some other disorders. People may have like irritable bowel syndrome. They may have diarrhea alternating with constipation, etc., etc. They may also disappear with meditation. So we will let us see. We are trying to document, and with the Chandra is giving the helping hand. I think he is in a hurry. I'm sorry. I think because of some technical problem, I could not join earlier. Sometime later, please give
Yes, sir.
give some more time, Chandra. I will probably make sure that I do it in an elaborate way, and I will also try to scientifically try to explain to the best of my ability.
Okay, sir.
If not like you, but as a as a one who was personally experienced
Sure.
this kind of manifestation and benefits. Thank you very much, and I should thank everybody for. There are so many doctors in this group. I think they will also agree with me. Dr. Tangveli ji is there, and other people are also there. Sir Ravani sir, I do not know whether he has left or he must have left. Anyway, we'll probably have a full session. Give us, for medical doctors, give us a session. We'll share all our views. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you. We'll do one last sharing. Badri Prasad ji, raise your hand. With that, we close for today. Yes, Badri Prasad. Question.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Yeah, I just, we were discussing about the vegetarian diet versus the non-vegetarian diet. Very recently, I saw this documentary on the Netflix called The Game Changers. It's they have done a highly in-depth study and a lot of research with the athletics. It's very insightful how vegetarian diet can improve your performance and everything much better than the people on the non-vegetarian diet. They have given all the research, analysis, and everything. I just thought I will mention this. It's available on Netflix. It's they have done it's very articulate, very insightful. I just wanted to
Wonderful.
share
So
this.
thank you. Yes, thanks for bringing it up. So Rakesh, Arvind, we need to done this. It's called the Game Changers, right? The Game
Yes, the game changers. Yeah.
Changers. Thank you all, and have a great day. So we'll meet back tomorrow. So tomorrow we're going to do a lot of sharing, a breakout day. So we're going to get to meet our facilitators and then in person ask a lot of questions. Second week, so any of those initial teething issues would have gone away, and then now about asking the next set of questions about meditation practice and strengthening it. So we'll stay connected and have a great day.